I have a reason for creating this course. From an early age, I found myself playing with paints, colour, and making my own sculptures. Although I didn't know what I was doing, I enjoyed the simple pleasure of making a mark or playing with form, creating shapes. I had no idea it was called sculpture back then. But the process gave me great pleasure, and at the same time I found myself trying to render my surroundings as true and sometimes abstract. Just messing about. Infant school taught me to contain shape in lifelike forms, but apart from that, I was always just making sense of stuff through shape, colour and form. Isn't that how most of us experience expression? A way of making sense, in whatever form it takes. Fast forward 20 or 30 years and my interest hadn't dwindled one bit, but my bafflement to what I now recognised as the art world did peak. I joined Foundation and a BA course to take my art further. My bafflement of goings-on in the business of the art world was the problem, and how that related to artists. A curious yet resigned acceptance that some artists did hugely well in terms of monetary reward and others fared better in the hindsight of history. I must admit, I was never drawn to art history. I was too interested in making my own art. But at no time during my education did anyone suggest I take an in-depth look at art history. Why would they? Art was all about the bright, new, the undiscovered talent, the original and unseen artist. Business savvy, yes, but that had nothing to do with art history. Or did it? It was then I started to delve further into the sometimes stiff, starchy and obscure area, a history, sometimes more often than not, crossing boundaries between antiquity, philosophy, politics and social history. An art history, until relatively recently, not given much serious written accolade, apart from the actual works themselves, which stood redolent and strong in the wake of wars and time-weathered narrative. It was then I realised that the history of art held a deep insight into our own collective histories, different to that of the history written by the winners of wars, disputes, empires and colonies. A more revealing insight and a colourful storytelling visible to those who took the time to understand its secrets. And that is why I decided to produce Art Made Clear.